if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Zoe, and this is my channel, Ms. Manga, where I talk a lot about manga. And I don't know if this is going up on Monday, so if it is, happy Manga Monday, or if I'm gonna be able to edit this and sneak this in as an extra video. So it's up when it's up. And yeah, I actually saw a TikTok that was celebrating Disability Pride Month. And my dumbass didn't know that July is Disability Pride Month, and they chose the month of July because it's the anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is a landmark legislation, broke down barriers to inclusion in society. So yeah, if you are like me and did not realize that July is Disability Pride Month, you're not alone. So I realized I had some manga that would perfectly honor the experiences and achievements and the struggles that the disability community faces on a daily basis, and that I, really wanted to read, or in the case of one, read again. So yeah, let's talk about some really great manga that highlights the disability community. Let's start with the first one, Love's in Sight, and this is the reread. So I read this online years ago, and I was super excited when they published it, and I snatched it up right away because there's some that I've read online that I see gets published and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'll pick that up eventually. But there's others that I'm like, oh my God, I need to have it. Like, I need to have the physical copy of it in my hands. Even though I didn't reread this volume until this month, that's okay. I just really wanted to have it because it's really good. It is about Morio, who is a tough looking kind of Yankee with a scar on his face, and is kind of scary and intimidating to everyone around him. That is except for Yukiko, who is a self-possessed girl with a vision impairment attending the school for the blind. And because she cannot see his scar and she treats him like normally, without fear or reservation, and just treats him like an equal person, he gets really flattered and starts like really liking her, and they strike up this adorable relationship. He is like the most puppy dog guy. I just usually don't like puppy dog guys, by the way, but like Moriko's so cute and earnest, and he makes mistakes, but that's, part of his charm because he's really just trying to do the best that he can do and show his love for Yukiko. And Yukiko is super great. I love her character. She is smart and funny, and she's really strong. And I think it's a great representation for a blind community or the visually impaired community. And, she's not timid, and sometimes things, sometimes she needs help with things because the world is not perfectly set up to help visually impaired people. And this manga, just even in the first volume alone, it teaches me so much about different struggles I would have never thought about. It's just a lot of interesting things, and it also brings in the older community because a lot of them struggle with things like losing their sight or hearing or, other things when you get older. But yeah, so I don't know, it's a really great inclusive book. It's funny, charming, and sweet, and I can't recommend it enough. I love this one so much. I mean, I already knew I loved it, but rereading it made me just love it even more. Next up, we have A Sign of Affection. And this is a kind of more cute, fluffy romance. It gave me very much shoujo vibes about a girl, Yuki, who is a college student and, is a very normal college student, happens to be deaf. And then she has this chance meeting with a interesting guy, and this leads to her having a cute little crush on him. So yeah, I mean, the art is adorable, all the blushy faces and cuteness, so kawaii. It's super great to see a deaf character being the protagonist of just a fluffy romance like this. You know, like I love Silent Voice. I will sing its praises. If you haven't read Silent Voice, you should read it. But it's a much more serious story pertaining to a character that is deaf and is also not told in the perspective of the deaf character. And in this one, it is told from her perspective, which I really like. I really appreciate that. I also appreciate that the mangaka employed someone from the deaf community to not only help with getting the sign language in the book right, but just like talking with her and kind of finding out more, it sounds like, about the community and about her day-to-day life, which I'm sure lends itself well to making the series authentic for the community. To me, this is where I, you know, take a step back from flattering the book with its cute art and its great inclusivity. It didn't knock my socks off the first volume. Yuki is very timid, very sweet, means well, you know, but she has a more, like, I hate to like be like straight up she boring, but like, you know, I like my characters to be a little more out there and quirky and stuff. And even though we can get her thoughts, which is great because, you know, otherwise we can only interpret what she signs, but they're, you know, a college girl, a typical college girl who's just thinking this guy is cute and wants to see him. And I don't know, you know, like I said, if you like the sweet, fluffy romances, I don't think you can go wrong with this one. I hate like saying anything negative about manga or like books in general, because I know there's someone out there that this is like their comfort book or their like favorite book. And I don't, you know, if it's special to you, there's a reason it's special to you, and that's wonderful. And so I don't like to like talk down about series. If you haven't guessed, I want to keep things pretty positive on here. And I didn't think it was bad by any means. I think it's a good story. It's just my cup of tea has been more towards more rom-com-y, I guess, than the sweet fluff romance. And so this gives you sweet fluff. And if you want that, definitely pick it up. Okay, we're switching gears a bit away from physical disabilities with My Brain is Different, Stories of ADHD and Other Developmental Disorders. So these are 9 true stories that are illustrated by Monzusu, is that how you say it? I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. And the first story is her experience and with her son. Most of the stories are featuring characters with ADHD, but other than hers, there's also 2 that more exclusively dive into the autism spectrum, and there's 1 that focuses on learning disabilities. So it really does focus on a good range of developmental disabilities, but a lot of them are ADHD. And as someone who, like, I'm not going to sit here and self-diagnose myself. Like, I don't like that. I have not gone to a professional to be diagnosed with anything. So I am not sure. But in the last year or so, I've been feeling like I can relate and maybe fill in some puzzle pieces of my inner brain workings. This sounds so stupid, but like, you know, why my brain is the way it is, and things just never kind of clicked or made sense to me. And I have gone to a therapist who has diagnosed me with depression and anxiety, but I, you know, am not diagnosed with ADHD, so I'm not saying I am, but I did relate strongly to a lot of the things in these stories. And I think that it's a really interesting read, just, you know, for everyone, not just if you think you might have one of these disabilities. It's kind of the motivation of why I picked it up, but I wasn't sure what to expect, and I picked it up last night because I was thinking, oh, I'll just like get started and read one or two of the short stories. I sat down to read one or two and I read the whole book. Like, I was super drawn in. I found it super interesting. Even things I couldn't relate to, like the learning disabilities, I found it super interesting to like find out more about it, and the dynamics of the mother-daughter relationship in that story, you know, because you kind of get both perspectives and you can kind of see both sides, and it's just really interesting look into these developmental disorders, whether you have them or think you have them or not. So yeah, I really recommend it. I think it's super good. I think it's a really great representation of different people and their different struggles. It's just within the ones that have the diagnosis of ADHD, there is a lot of differences. They can have dual diagnoses too, not just ADHD. And, you know, that will, I'm sure, impact things and stuff. But just in general, you really get a close up look at the different struggles and hurdles. And yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I can't, like, you know, recommend it enough that it, I think, should be in, you know, all libraries and schools. And it's just, it could help people either understand something about themselves or about the people around them. And I think that is really important. Okay, it's been a minute for me. I filmed the first part and then I actually read this last manga, and I wasn't sure if I could completely read and then be able to film this today, but the manga was a really quick read. So now I'm back to you. It's all the same. So anyway, the last manga I read was Josee, the Tiger and the Fish. So this is a one-shot that is based on a novel that was made into a hit animated film, and then they gave it the manga treatment in this collected omnibus version, which is very pretty, and the art is very pretty. I'll just say that right off the bat. Very, very pretty art. But yeah, this one, you know, it made me tear up. I don't know if like you can tell if it like wrecked my makeup. I didn't touch it up, but it didn't make me sob, but it made me tear up and like happy sad tears. This was just like a bittersweet story about a young college student named Tsuneo who loves the ocean and fish, and he has plans to study abroad and dive in foreign waters, and he needs more money in which to do this. And that is when he just so happens to quite literally run into Josee, who is careening down a hill in her wheelchair and crashes into him. You know, he kind of breaks her fall, and that's how they meet. And Josee is very Josee, it's how I'm saying it. Sorry if it's not supposed to be that way. I haven't watched the movie yet. I do plan on it though, especially now because I really, really did like this. But yeah, so I don't know how it's pronounced. I'm sorry. But that's how I was reading it anyway. And Josee is really quite prickly towards him and doesn't really want his help or anything, but her grandmother, who she's living with, decides to take him on as her caretaker, and he agrees because he needs, you know, the extra funds for studying abroad. So they have this not so great relationship in which she just bosses him around and makes him do silly things. And then one day she is really fed up and she just wants to go to the beach. She wants to taste the ocean water and see if it's really salty. She wants to experience it. And so Tsuneo, thank you, thanks Bips. So Tsuneo decides to take her there. And after this, she starts to slowly open up to him, and he shows her what else there is in the outside world and helps her to be less afraid of things and try new things. And it's really, you know, she is so distracting. I'm trying to talk about a serious book here. Anyway, yeah, it's really heartwarming. Yeah, so anyway, it's a really heartwarming story. Like I said, made me tear up. It's bittersweet because it has some really sad down moments, but it does have some just as many uplifting and sweet and heartwarming moments. So I thought it really struck a great balance. Personally, I think if you wanted like more, like if you wanted to see more in depth, I guess, the struggles of a wheelchair user and a relationship might look, then I would definitely recommend checking out Perfect World. I've talked about it on here before. I love this series. It's complete and it's just a really good series. It's a really good romance, and it just so happens that one of the main characters got into an accident and in the present is now wheelchair bound. This is different than Josee, who was apparently born like that, her grandma says, but we don't really get much in the way of like the diagnosis or like, you know, anything specific. Not that it is necessary, I guess, for the story, but otherwise this is a quick and really lovely read. So I'd recommend checking this one out as well. And of course, let me know in the comments below if you've seen the movie. What did you think of it? I'd always like to know. Alrighty, and those were my picks and reads of the month for the month of July in honor of Disability Pride Month. Yeah, if you have some good recommendations of manga with characters that have a disability, then definitely comment them below, recommend them to me. I'm all ears. I do still want to pick up this one. The name escapes me. It's like Run With Your Own Legs or Run With Your New Legs, something like that. I've been wanting to pick that up because it's about prosthetics, which is really interesting and different than what I covered, but I just didn't end up purchasing it in time for this video. But it's on my to-buy list, as are so many other manga. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would mean so much to me. So grateful for those of you who have already. Thank you so much. And of course, until next time, bye!